Hey everyone, this is our very short lesson on wave interference and interactions. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to illustrate the wave interactions of reflection, refraction, and diffraction since we've already discussed interference in a previous lesson. So first, let's talk about reflection. So this occurs when a wave strikes an object and then bounces off. And the type of surface does determine the type of reflection because it changes what's called the incident ray. So the incident ray is the ray that bounces off the surface. So if you have a very smooth surface like a mirror, you should see specific angles given off based on the angle of incidence and then the incidence ray. So we've got the if you hit at a 45-degree angle, you should bounce off at a very specific angle on a flat surface. However, if you have a bumpy surface, that is not necessarily the case because you're going to hit different parts of that surface, allowing you to bounce off at different angles. So we have also what's called refraction, and this is the bending of a wave caused by a change in speed or a change in medium or both. So as you can see here on this GIF with the pencil, you stick it in, you know the pencil's straight, but then you will see that it's actually at different angles in each solution. So in water, it's bending at a specific point, so it makes it look like the pencil's broken. But then in oil, it actually bends even further, with that being a bit of a thicker medium to pass through. And the amount of bending depends on the speed of the particles in that medium. The greater the difference between the speeds of the two media, the more there will be a bend. And then light slows down when passing through a material, so just remember that, which causes us to see things a little bit differently in terms of their angles. And an example of this is a rainbow. And then our last one here is diffraction. So diffraction is the interference or bending of waves around corners or openings in an obstacle. Another word for these openings are called apertures, if you hear that. And the larger the aperture or opening, the less bending that will occur. So you'll see more of an effect through a small opening, as you can see here between these yellow lines. We're getting a much more bent wave coming off of that aperture. If this was a larger opening, they would not be as bent. So like I said, this was very quick, and hopefully now you can differentiate between reflection, refraction, and diffraction.